So you have a strong connection with the Native American Lakota. And how does that transfer into health and well-being?
Randy, we can learn a lot from our Lakota brothers and sisters. I believe the First Nation people are the first people to imitate the life of Jesus.
And by the way, what's your connection with them? How do you know so much about them?
I practiced most of my career with the Native Americans in South Dakota and Montana,
Okay.
and mostly the Lakota.
All right.
And so they can teach us a lot about how to heal, because they believe, as I believe, that all healing comes from the Great Spirit, and that we're responsible for our health. And that it is well documented in the Native American history by the Native Americans that Jesus walked the Americas, that he produced many miracles, that he controlled the water, the wind, and the elements. But the message, Randy, common to all, was of love and peace. And he gave the Lakota the 12 virtues. Virtues like compassion and love and integrity and sincerity. And he gave them the sacred path, which is the path of righteousness. It's the only path. And they call it the Red Road. It's an alcohol and drug-free life. And in the last 5 years in our country, there's been some great things happening with the Lakota. In the last 5 years, with our Native Americans, we've had the first canonized U.S. saint in Kateri Tekakwitha.
Okay.
We've had Nicholas Black Elk, who is up for canonization and opened the cause to canonization in the Catholic Church. Also, Harney Peak, which is the highest peak going east to the Pyrenees in France, is now called Black Elk Peak, after Chief Nicholas Black Elk. And we have had Dignity, a 50-foot statue of a Native American female unveiled in Chamberlain, South Dakota, which speaks to the humanity and the sacredness of all of us. And it's just a great time, to be living in Western South Dakota.
So they practice, so your 5 pillars of wellness
Right.
are kind of what the Lakota have been doing all along in an ideal situation.
In the ideal situation with the buffalo and the turnips and the choke cherries, the holistic health diet, the exercise that the Lakota people had, they didn't have the diseases that they have now that they have on the reservations, the diabetes and the hypertension and obesity.
So if they could just go back to their natural diet.
And they are.
Like all humans, if we go back to our natural diet, is that your feeling?
Exactly. And there is a big resurgence to learn the language on the reservations. The Lakota return to their culture, because you can't extinguish a culture. You can put people on reservations, but their culture is one of love and peace. And their diet with the buffalo and other things that they enjoyed, they were given, the first ones in this country, given the sacred path. And so they can teach us that. They can teach us that to love, to honor, and to respect the Great Spirit, Wankantanka, or Tekunchala, which is God, because they serve the same God that Christians serve. And so it's a powerful message out there. And so I believe through all the injustices our Native Americans have experienced, that their path to peace is through love and forgiveness of the...
And you're seeing that with the Lakota.
I am seeing
more and more forgiving and letting go.
Exactly. And there's a young group out there called Native Hope to inspire young people. When kindness and truth meet, justice and peace shall kiss. And I think that's the path that we need to go down.
Okay.